last piece of data that I want to share, because this report just came out. The OECD did a really great survey across 32 different countries, and I want to share some of that with you today. It's a very large report for anybody who's interested in drilling down into a lot more data that's available there. But just this last year, they surveyed 166,000 adults across these countries, all of them that are highlighted in red, including 5,000 Americans, which is an oversampling. Most big surveys across the nation try to aim for about 1,000 or more. So it was a good sample in the US, but not enough to drill down to state-specific data, unfortunately. But of those surveys, everybody took this internationally agreed upon assessment, and what they looked at was literacy, numeracy, problem solving, but with this particular focus on technology-rich environments. So these are skills that you need in the workforce, but in today's digital age. And the findings are concerning. So this chart looks specifically at numeracy. And you'll notice here, the United States is third from the bottom, so I guess we're glad that Italy and Spain are having a harder time than we are. But don't worry about the numbers on the score so much. The US is about 253. What's important to know is that 7 points on this score is roughly equivalent to a year's worth of educational attainment. So the United States is there, about 253. England and Ireland has about a year's worth of educational attainment beyond where we tested on numeracy. So the UK, you could argue, is about a year ahead of us. The OECD average, so the average for everybody that took this test, is 2 years ahead of where the average American tested on this study. The Slovak Republic, which I know I compare the United States to all the time, is 3 years ahead of where we're at. Finland's 4 years ahead, Japan's 5 years ahead. On literacy, we did a little bit better than we did on numeracy. So the United States is a little bit higher, but still, in this case, we're a year behind Estonia, we're 2 years behind Finland, and 3 years behind Japan. One other slide I'll show you from this study, and let me explain what all these arrows mean. At the left side of each one of these arrows, you'll see a little circle. That's where anyone who was 55 to 65 tested on this particular study for literacy. So you can think of this as a generational improvement chart. So everybody that was 55 to 65 went through our education system roughly 4 decades ago. And they tested on the left side of these arrows in every country. Then if you look at those that are 16 to 24, those who are going through our education system now, they tested where the diamond is on the far right. So by correlation, you could start to say that, well, we're going to assume then that everyone's education system's improved over time on this particular study on literacy to say that this is how we've marked progress in these different countries. There's more to it than that, but roughly speaking, the United States, you could argue, started relatively ahead of most other countries how they tested. So this isn't to say that our youth are falling even farther behind than where we were for it. We actually are making improvements. If you look at the UK, they arguably haven't improved that system over those 4 generations. The United States has. But everyone else, except for Spain, who's also making huge improvements, have jumped ahead of us. So if this is a race, we had a huge head start, and we're the tortoise in this race. And we need to learn how to speed that up, because we're falling behind on all of these work skills that are going to define competitiveness for the next century and the next